Welcome back to Royal Watch Daily, your reliable source for thoughtful, in-depth coverage and the hidden dimensions of stories involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the royal family. We're honored you're here as we unpack this profound moment with respect for history, duty, and the human cost behind every decision. Just moments ago, Buckingham Palace confirmed what insiders describe as a final and irreversible ultimatum concerning Prince Harry's staggering financial exposure, an estimated £100 million in confirmed liabilities. The revelation has stunned observers worldwide. According to sealed financial disclosures released from the tightly secured archives of St. James's Palace, this is no longer rumor, speculation, or media exaggeration. It is a verified financial reality, one so severe that it now threatens to collapse the Californian empire Prince Harry constructed after leaving royal life. What makes this moment historic is not simply the size of the debt, but the Crown's response. This was not family discipline, it was corporate execution, a deliberate move led by Prince William to isolate what the future king now views as a financially and reputationally toxic liability. Tonight, we reveal what really happened inside the secret summit that financially exiled the Duke of Sussex. The night the palace changed strategy. For months, the public assumed King Charles was preparing a quiet reconciliation, perhaps a discreet Christmas call, a soft reopening of dialogue. Instead, as rain lashed against London's ancient stone, something far more consequential unfolded. Unmarked Range Rovers, windows blacked out, moved silently through the capital, not toward Buckingham Palace or Clarence House, but toward St. James's Palace, the monarchy's operational nerve center. This was not a family meeting, it was an emergency financial intervention. The question was stark. Could the British monarchy afford to remain financially associated with Prince Harry? For years, the palace absorbed blows, interviews, documentaries, memoirs. But that night, the strategy shifted from endurance to containment. Harry had reportedly sought a last-minute bailout to save the Montecito property and stabilize mounting debt. The answer, after hours of deliberation, was chilling. The Crown would not intervene. Creditors would be allowed to proceed. The California dream would be permitted to collapse, by design. The man with the numbers. To understand the severity of that decision, one must understand the man delivering the report. Sir Michael Stevens, keeper of the Privy Purse, is known internally as the living ledger. To him, the monarchy is not an emotional institution, it is a multi-billion-pound legacy enterprise. "This is not scandal," he reportedly began, "it is arithmetic." What followed was a forensic breakdown of how a prince without institutional backing bleeds money at an unsustainable rate. The Montecito trap. First, the Montecito estate. Still carrying a $14.65 million mortgage, the property was revealed not as an asset, but as a liability. Variable interest rates, soaring taxes exceeding $200,000 annually, and multi-million-dollar maintenance costs transformed the mansion into what one insider called a cash incinerator. A full-time staff, private chefs, groundskeepers, and layered security added millions more. Hollywood blockbuster income is required annually just to stand still, Stevens reportedly said. But there were no blockbusters. Netflix declined to renew its 9-figure deal. Spotify ended its partnership early, with one executive publicly branding the venture unproductive. The fortress of independence had become a golden cage. The vanity and the fear. Next came what Stevens termed the vanity cost. Nearly $28 million spent on legal battles, most of them unsuccessful. From press lawsuits to the failed attempt to reclaim taxpayer-funded police protection, Harry not only lost in court, but was ordered to cover government legal costs. Millions burned not on assets, but on affirmation. Then came the paranoia premium, an estimated $31 million on private security over 5 years. Former Navy SEALs, ex-Secret Service agents, armored vehicles, surveillance tech. Presidential-level protection on a podcaster's revenue stream. It is not security, Stevens concluded, it is performance. The Oak Room Decision. Seated at the ancient oak table were King Charles, Prince William, Princess Anne, and Sir Michael Stevens. Charles spoke first, his instinct paternal. He proposed a discreet personal loan, quietly structured to avert public humiliation. "We cannot have a son of the king in an American bankruptcy court," he reportedly said. For a moment, tradition hovered. Then Prince William spoke. He did not open a checkbook. He opened a black leather folder titled Commercial Liability Assessment. "This is not about saving Harry," William said calmly. "This is about preventing us from financing our own destruction." Harry, William argued, had become a media business whose profitability depended on portraying the royal family as antagonists. "Every time we help," he said calmly, "it becomes content. The Oprah interview, the Netflix series, Spare. Each act of compassion became ammunition. No duchy funds will cross the Atlantic," William stated. "That is not cruelty, it is fiduciary duty." The final blow. Princess Anne delivered the decisive metaphor. "The monarchy is a ship of state," she said. "You do not comfort a sailor drilling holes in the hull." Harry, she declared, was now a toxic asset, something that drains value simply by existing. Paying the debt would not solve the problem, it would reward the behavior. You cannot save someone determined to pull you under. The verdict was unanimous. The St. James Protocol. What followed was not punishment, but quarantine. 3 pillars were enacted immediately. 1. Sovereign firewall. No royal funds, direct or indirect, would reach Prince Harry. Ever. 2. Global credit disavowal. Banks were quietly informed the Crown guarantees nothing. The surname was no longer collateral. 3. Legal and communications severance. All appeals redirected to external counsel. No family intervention, no exceptions. The title remained, its power did not. The cold line. In Montecito, Harry waited, expecting rescue. Instead, the call came from an external law firm. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, sir." Then silence. An invoice for Frogmore renovations followed. The message was unmistakable. You are no longer protected. The Bank of Dad was closed. The cost of independence. As night fell over California, the truth settled in. You cannot burn down headquarters and expect the corporation to pay your bills. Freedom without accountability is not freedom. It is isolation with interest. And yet, this story doesn't truly end with a closed bank account or a disconnected phone line. Those were only the visible consequences. The deeper cost is one that cannot be itemized on a balance sheet. For the first time in his life, Prince Harry is facing a reality that no palace aide, no press secretary, and no royal title can soften. The protection he once mistook for unconditional love was in truth institutional responsibility. Once he stepped outside that institution, the rules changed, the safety net vanished. What remained was the raw mathematics of independence. Inside royal circles, there is no celebration. This decision was never viewed as a victory. It was described privately as an amputation, necessary, painful, and irreversible. The monarchy did not act out of anger, nor did it seek revenge. It acted out of fear. Fear that continued association would invite financial contagion, reputational erosion, and long-term instability. Prince William's position is now unmistakably clear. As future king, he has chosen preservation over sentiment. History will judge whether that choice was cold or courageous. What is certain is that it signals a new era, one where the House of Windsor no longer absorbs the private failures of its members in silence. For King Charles, the cost is deeply personal. The crown may endure, but the father does not escape unscathed. This is the quiet tragedy of monarchy, when duty demands what love cannot provide. He did not abandon his son. He stepped aside as the monarch took precedence. As for Prince Harry, the path ahead is brutally simple and profoundly difficult. Either the Montecito empire contracts to match reality, or reality will dismantle it piece by piece. Creditors do not negotiate with titles, banks do not accept legacy as payment, and the American financial system does not recognize royal grievance as collateral. There will be no dramatic palace statement announcing what happens next, no press conference, no apology tour from London. The consequences will unfold slowly, in refinancing failures, in canceled negotiations, in assets quietly listed and ambitions steadily reduced. And perhaps that is the sharpest lesson of all. True freedom comes with absolute responsibility, and walking away from the crown means accepting life without its invisible guarantees. The institution has spoken. The firewall is active, and the era of royal rescue missions is officially over. Thank you for watching Royal Watch Daily. Let us know your thoughts below. Goodbye for now.